going up for the jump. It's going to be going Earl's direction first. Up for 3, and it's going to be off. Shot's still going to be off. It's going to be going first cross county, back Earl's direction. Nice steal there by Jefferson.
Miller's taking it up the court.
Out of bounds. Miller going to be inbounding for the T-Birds.
Ashton Sinclair takes a 3, and she misses.
Cox going to get a hand on it, get it to St. Clair, but it's going to be tipped by the Bulldogs. Maples taking it up the court for Earl. Shots off. Miller going to take it back cross county's direction. She's going to run into Jefferson. Loses dribble for a sec, but picks it back up.
3 by Cox. It's off.
Maples going to get it across the court. Back across to Maples. Going for the mid-range, and it's good. First points on the board for either team.
Maples goes for a layup, and she misses. It's rebounded by Avery Forrester. Taken up the court by Avery Cox.
Cox to Bursajay. Gonna try and bounce it inside. Cox gonna swoop in there. Backs out to Miller. She's gonna get tripped up. Looks like they're gonna get that foul on number 3, Jefferson.
To Avery Forrester. She shoots for her 3, and she misses.
It's going to be rebounded by Perry. Jefferson taking it up for the Bulldogs.
Shoots a mid-range, and she makes it.
Miller going to get it to Nakota, and who's going to hand it off to Cox. Cox going to bounce it out to Forrester. Forrester for the mid-range, and it's good for 2. First points on the board for the T-Birds.
Jefferson is taking it up the court.
Perry going to lose her dribble there for a sec.
Jefferson gets it back.
We're going to get a lane violation, 3 seconds in the lane. Five minutes, 4 seconds left in the first quarter.
Cox to Bursajay. Bursajay to Miller. To Forrester. She goes up.
She's going to draw the foul.
Forrester for her free throws. She makes her first.
Puts 3 on the board for the T-Birds. Trailing behind by 1 point with the Bulldogs at 4.
And she makes her second. Jefferson is taking it up the court.
Loose ball. Everyone's fighting for it. It's going to go out of bounds in Earl's direction. Cross County's direction. My bad. I saw him point. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been on the mic. I apologize. Richardson going to get it out to Miller for 3, and it's going to be off. Richardson going to save it from going out of bounds, but it's going to go into the hands of Maples. Maples going to be off the mark. Forster going to be inbounding.
Forster to Cox. Back to Forster. Forster's going to dribble through the defense into Versajay.
Versajay going to go for the drive, and it's going to be good. Maples taking it down. Going to get it. Oh, my bad. Over to Jefferson. Like we got a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back. Maples up for the shot, and it's going to be good for 2. It's going to tie the ball game, 6 both ways.
Forster takes it up the court. Versajay tips it out of bounds. It's going to go Earl's way.
Shot's going to be off by Jefferson, rebounded by Miller. Miller going to try and take it coast. Coast bounced it to Versajay, but it hit the leg of a Bulldog. Johnson coming in for Cross County.
Johnson will be inbounding.
All the way back to Forster. Miller for 3, and it's going to be off and goes into the hands of Lately. Up for the shot, it's going to be off. Goes into the hands of Johnson.
Miller passes to Cox. Back to Miller. To Johnson. Back to Miller. It's going to be blocked by the Bulldogs.
All the way down to Maples, up for it off the backboard, and it's good for 2. Got a 30-second timeout. Coach James will be back. Pressure from the Earl defense, bringing a full court press, going to get it out to Miller to try and break the defense. We're going to say her shot is no good. Looks like they called a foul on Ashland.
Maples is taking it up the court.
Perry taking it out. Going to get it across to Maples. Maples going to bounce it to Perry at the top of the key for 3, and it's going to be off the mark. Out of bounds, going cross county's direction.
Forster will be taking it out. Passes it to Cox. And Cox tips it out.
Forster inbounding. Gonna get it to Johnson. Tries to get to Cox, a little bit of a miscommunication, still gonna keep a hand on it. Earl is bringing out a strong defense this first quarter. Back to Miller. Miller gonna hand it off to Cox. Tries to get it back out to Miller, but it looks like she wasn't ready for it. I was gonna say that Earl tipped it last, so it's gonna be staying on Cross County side of the court.
Forster inbounding the ball. She's going to pass it to Cox.
Cox letting the offense get set up, and they're going to get a foul on Maples. Looks like she kind of bumped into her as she was starting to take off.
Forster inbounding again. This time she goes for Johnson. Back to Forster.
Miller going to get a hand on it. Out to Forster. Forster going to try and make her way around the defense. Shot's going to be blocked. And we're going to send it to Maples, who's going to send it down to Jefferson. She's going to get the and one. Looks like that foul was on Avery Cox, her first. Second team foul for the Thunderbirds.
Versa J coming in and Kaylee coming in.
Jefferson up for it and misses.
It's going to be tipped out by Versa J.
All the way back to Maples. Maples going to get it to Jefferson in the corner for 3. Shot's going to be off and rebounded by Doss.
Doss kicks it out. It's going to be inbounded by Versa J. It's going to be stolen by Jefferson, and she makes her layup.
Good for 2 there. Got a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back. And we're back. Less than a minute left in the ball game, or excuse me, first quarter. Earl out front 12, Cross County 6.
Versa J inbounded to Forster, back to Versa J. And it's going to be stolen by Maples to Jefferson for the layup. Shit's off.
We're going to call a foul. Foul's going to be on Avery Forrester. Her first, third team foul for the quarter. Jefferson sinks it. Up for the second, and it's going to be good as well.
Inbounded from J to back to Forrester. Forrester taking it up the court. She's going to pass it to Johnson, but it's going to be stolen.
Tried to get it to KJ, but looks like a bunch of defenders were on her. Shout out to Kaylee Johnson. This is her first game back in a few after some troubles with her elbow. She is back in action. Forrester to Johnson. Tries to get it to J, but Maples is going to get a hand on it. Loses her dribble for a sec, but picks it back up. Up for it off the backboard, and it's good.
Miller taking it up the court.
Pressure on her by the defense. They're going to call a jump ball.
St. Clair and Cox are subbing in for Johnson and Miller.
Forrester has some pressure on her. Going to get it out to St. Clair. They're going to get St. Clair with a travel. Looks like she took a little bit of an extra step there before she decided to pass it off.
Jefferson taking up the court to Maples. Maples for the three.
Off the mark. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Earl out front 16, Cross County 6. We'll be back in just a minute with the start of the second quarter. Kicking off the second quarter, Earl 16, Cross County 6. Got a travel on the Bulldogs. Cox going to get it to Forster. It's going to go out of bounds. They're going to send it back Earl direction.
Jefferson to Maples, inbounding. Back to Jefferson to Maples to Perry for the three. She misses. It's going to be Cross County's ball. J to Cox. Back to J. Up the court to St. Clair.
Cross County has had some trouble trying to get it across that half-court line. Earl has brought a strong defense tonight. We're going to say that Avery Cox did a little bit of a push there. That's her second foul. Jefferson for 3. It's going to be off. Rebounded by Doss.
That's going to be a travel on Maples. Oh, not Maples. Perry.
Johnson coming in for Cox.
J to Johnson. Back to J. To Miller.
Cross County keeping it outside right now. Miller to J inside to Richardson. Gonna get Richardson with the travel. Latley coming in for the Bulldogs. It's gonna let Doss take a seat.
Jefferson with the ball. To Perry. Passing it back to Jefferson.
All the way across to Maples. Up for it, and it's good for 2.
J will be inbounding.
A jump ball. Gonna send it.
Johnson subbing in for J.
Jump ball going cross County's direction. A little bit of a confusion. Looks like the refs didn't really look at the arrow. It's going to go in cross County's direction. Forster inbounding. Earl with the full court press. Going to get to Johnson, back to Forster.
Forster taking it up the court.
Back out to Miller. Miller from the inside. It's going to be off. KJ going to get the rebound.
To Johnson for the 3. And it's off.
Going to call a foul. Foul's going to be on Earl's number 10, Perry. 6 minutes left in the first half.
Forster for Kaylee.
And KJ's going to draw the foul.
Kaylee Johnson for 2 free throws.
Johnson's first game back, up for it. It's going to be off.
She's going for a second. Hopefully she can make this one.
And that one's going to be off.
Going to be Cross County's ball.
Going to get it out to Johnson. Johnson going to bounce it to Richardson. Shot's going to be blocked. Out of bounds, staying on Cross County's side.
Johnson inbounding to Forster. Oh, but it's going to be stolen by Jefferson.
Jefferson going to go all the way. Good for 2. Puts 20 on the board for the Bulldogs.
Cross County's ball again. Forster to Johnson. Oh, it's going to be tipped off by Jefferson.
Going to draw the foul. Foul's going to be on Avery Johnson, her first foul. Second team foul for Cross County for this quarter. Jefferson up for it, sinks it. Up for the second, and it's good.
Forster taking it up the court. It's going to be stolen by Jefferson.
Jefferson going to go all the way. Good for two. She had Cox trying to defend her as well. Pretty difficult shot to make. Johnson to Cox.
Jump by KJ. It's going to be off.
Yep. Maples up for it. It's going to be off. Ashton St. Clair coming in for Forster. Coming in for the Bulldogs, Miller and Perry.
Jefferson for three. She misses. Johnson gets the rebound. Cox taking it up the court.
Johnson gonna hand it off to Cox.
Cox going for the layup, and she makes it.
She was able to find a nice opening there right in the middle. Go through and make two.
Jefferson for the jumper. She misses. Maples for the three. She misses.
Jump ball. Stay in Earl's direction. Have to take a second. Doss ties her shoe. Doss for three. Sinks it. Smooth shot there from the Bulldogs. Puts 27 on the board for Earl.
Johnson handing off to Cox. It's going to be a foul on Maples. Cross County's ball. J subbing in for Johnson.
Murray coming in for the Bulldogs. Cox in the corner, gonna get it to Johnson. Back out to Cox, gonna take it in deep.
Cox going in.
Tries to get it back to St. Clair, but it's too high of a pass.
Doss inbounding to Jefferson.
Up for it, and it's going to be good by Murray.
J inbounding to Johnson. Has some struggle in the beginning, but she's taking up the court. Oh, it's going to be stolen by Maples.
Jefferson inbounding for the Bulldogs. Murray has some pressure on her.
Jefferson and Maples. Maples for the jump shot. She misses. It's going to be Cross County's ball.
Looks like Murray hit the ground pretty hard. Gonna get her with a foul, her second.
J inbounding to Johnson. Back to J. She stepped out of bounds. It's going to be Earl's ball. To Doss. It's to Maples for the 3. It's off.
Cox with a hand on it, trying to take it up the court. Looks like Earl has dropped the full court press. St. Clair to J for 3, sinks it. It's going to put 11 on the board for the Thunderbirds, 29 for the Bulldogs.
Jefferson taking up the court pretty slow. To Maples. Back to Jefferson. To Maples for the jump shot.
Yeah, it's no good thought about it. Looks like everyone's struggling to keep a hand on it. Maples up for it. She's going to draw the foul. We're going to get that foul on Nakota. Her first. 3rd team foul for the quarter.
Maples makes her first.
Up for it, and it's going to be good.
Of course, taking it out to Cox. To Johnson, going up the court. To J in the corner. Back to Johnson. Oh, J. She got it.
Yeah, struggled to keep a hand on it at first, but she was able to bring it back. Nakota lost her dribble, and Maples picked it up. Jefferson, shot's going to be good. 2 more on the board for the Bulldogs. J going to be off. Fighting for the rebound. And call a jump ball. It's going to keep it on Cross County's side.
J inbounding to Forrester. Forrester for the 3. She makes it.
It's going to put 14 on the board for the Thunderbirds. 33, Earl.
To Jefferson. Jefferson for the 3. She misses.
Jump ball. It's going to be on Earl's side of the court. Just over 1 minute left in the first half. Earl 33, Cross County 14.
Earl's inbounding the ball all the way to Maples.
And that's going to be a backcourt. Going into the hands of the Thunderbirds.
Cox taking it up the court. To J. Back to Cox. Oh, she struggles to get it through the defense.
Yeah, it was bouncing everywhere. Loose ball. Earl was going to come out with it. Maybe Jefferson couldn't get a hand on it. Nobody's able to. Out of bounds, going Cross County. One ref says Cross County, one says Earl. They're going to agree on Cross County. Looks like both crowds got a little excited over that one. 40 seconds left in the half.
Cox taking it up to J. Back to Cox. All the way to Johnson. Johnson's going to Forster for the 3, and she makes it. Second of the night.
Jefferson slowing down a little bit. Shot clock is off. Gets tripped up. Jump ball. Forster inbounding, gets it to Cox.
Cox going up the court pretty fast. All the way to the goal.
Gonna draw the foul with 4 seconds left.
Cox going up with her first. She makes it. Now her second. And she makes it.
She's going to put 19 on the board for the Thunderbirds. 33 for the Bulldogs. Jefferson with the buzzer beater, and it's going to be off. And that's going to be the end of the first half. Right now, Cross County at 33. Cross County at 19. Earl at 33. We'll be back in a few minutes with the start of the second half. We've got about 2.5 minutes left in this halftime. Right now, if you're watching on CCHS Live, you can see your junior high boys warming up. This is going to be the first time, like with the girls, the boys have been in action here at home. Just due to, the weather last week, all the snow and ice, some games got rescheduled. So we will get to see how the boys do here in just a few minutes. Right now, we are still in the middle of your senior high girls facing off against the Earl Bulldogs. Right now, Bulldogs out front 33, Cross County 19. But towards the end of that first half, things started to speed up quite a bit. We went from having about a 20-point difference to Cross County pulling up to a little bit less than that. So we will see how that works out. So yeah, Audrey is still out doing something right now, but we've got about a minute and a half left, so we'll be back then. See you guys soon. And we're back with the start of the second half of the senior high girls matchup against the Earl Bulldogs. Right now, Bulldogs out front 33, Cross County 19. Jefferson inside for the mid-range shot, and it's going to be good for 2. 35 Bulldogs. Cox going to bounce it to Forster. Forster gets tripped up but saves it from going down. It's going to be stolen by the Bulldogs. Maples for the shot. It's going to be off. Maples back up, and she's going to draw the foul. Maples going to be at the line shooting. Foul's going to be on Avery Forrester for the Thunderbirds. Her second foul. First team foul for the half. Up for it. She's going to sink that one. Earl is very strong whenever it comes to shooting free throws. The shots missed have been few and far between so far tonight.
Forster inbounding to Cox. Back to Forster.
Looks like Earl is bringing out a strong defense again this second half. Shot's going to be tipped by Earl, but Miller's going to pick it up. But that's going to be 10 seconds. Maples going to get it to Jefferson. Jefferson over to Perry. J trying to bring some pressure. He's going to hand it off to Maples. For 3, Jefferson sinks it. Puts 40 on the board for the Bulldogs.
Cox taking it up to St. Clair for 3. And she sinks it. Jefferson taking it up the court pretty slow to Perry, to Maples.
Shot's going to be off, rebounded by Murray, and she makes it. 42 Bulldogs, 22 Thunderbirds. Versa J to Cox. Cox going to go inside, bounces it out to St. Clair from the right wing. It's going to be off.
Perry tries to get the ball, but she ends up putting it in the crowd.
Versa J inbounding. Maples inbounding. Hands it off to Jefferson. Jefferson back to Maples. Maples letting her offense get set up. Going to hand it off to Doss.
Maples to Jefferson. Jefferson for the 3, and it's off.
Rebounded by Forrester.
Johnson accidentally turns it over to Maples. Maples for the shot. She scores.
It's going to put 44 on the board for the Bulldogs. 22 Cross County. St. Clair going to get it inside to Johnson, outside to Miller. Miller going to hand it off to Cox, back to Miller. Miller to Johnson. Looks like they're going to get Perry with a push. It's going to be her second foul. Second team foul for Earl as well.
Johnson inbounds to Cox. Oh, it's going to be a travel on Cross County.
Yeah, it looked like Latley was able to put some pressure on her and kind of force her into that walk, take that extra step.
Perry with 3. It's off. It's going to be rebounded by Jefferson.
And we got a foul. Looks like they're going to get St. Clair with the foul, her first. It's going to send Jefferson to the line to shoot. Sinks it. Jefferson up for the second. It's going to be off. Richardson coming in from Miller. Excuse me, St. Clair. Up for the third. Sinks it.
Inbounded by Forrester. All the way to Cox. Back to Forrester. Miller to Cox, to Johnson. Forrester goes up for the shot. She makes it.
2 more on the board for the Thunderbirds. Puts 24 Cross County. Earl still out front at 46. Maples taking it up the court. For 3, shot's going to be off by Doss.
Going to be a timeout.
We'll be back in 30 seconds. Forster inbounding. Gonna get it, tries to get it to Johnson. That Earl defense is gonna put pressure on it, call it jump ball.
It's gonna be inbounded by Forster.
Forster all the way back to Johnson. Gonna try and beat the defense.
To Miller.
Miller going inside, shot's gonna be off. Miller saves it from going out, goes in the hands of Johnson, and she's gonna draw the foul. Looks like that foul is gonna be on Earl's number 10, Perry, her third. Johnson sinks it. Third team foul for the Bulldogs this quarter. Sinks the second. 26, Cross County, 46, Bulldogs.
Maples taking it up the court to Doss. Back to Maples. To Perry. Perry for the three. She misses.
Off the mark. Rebounded by Jefferson for three. Sinks it. 49 for the Bulldogs. 26 for the Thunderbirds.
Forster taking it up the court.
Maples gonna inbound for the Bulldogs.
Maples taking it up the court. To Jefferson for the three. Forster rebounding and taking it up the court to Cox. Jefferson taking it up the court. To Perry.
Out of bounds. It's going to go in Cross County's direction.
To Cox. Back to Forster. To Johnson. Johnson going for the layup. She makes it.
Jefferson taking it up for the Bulldogs. 2:20 left in the third quarter. Earl 49, Cross County 28. Jefferson for three, sinks it. She has been consistent with the three-pointers all night tonight.
Cox to Miller, taking it up the court real fast.
Miller up for it, and she misses. Rebounded by Jefferson. Jefferson gonna lose her dribble for a sec, but picks it back up. For three, it's gonna be off the mark. Rebounded by Richardson, who's gonna get it off to Cox.
Cox taking it up the court, getting pressured pretty hard. Miller going for the layup. It's gonna get blocked by Perry.
Gonna draw the foul. Foul is gonna be on Latley. It's gonna be her second foul. Fourth team foul for the Bulldogs this quarter. Miller up for it, misses.
St. Clair subbing in for Ashlyn Richardson.
Bertha J coming in as well.
Jefferson taking it up the court. To Maples. Back to Jefferson. Just misses the mark. Oh, it's going to get tripped up by Miller.
Yeah, looks like Miller took a little tumble. They're going to call a foul on Perry, her 4th. Fifth team foul for the Bulldogs. It's going to put Cross County in the bonus. Miller at the line shooting for the T-Birds. Up for it, sinks it.
Miller going for a second.
Missed that one. Like the ball's gonna be going Earl's direction. Just over a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Earl 52, Cross County 30.
Jefferson taking it up the court.
Less than a minute left. Jefferson gonna get it out to Perry for 3. It's gonna be short. Goes right into the hands of Cox. To Miller, up for it, and it's good.
Maple all the way to Jefferson. Jefferson for the deep 3. It's off.
One of the few 3-pointers we've seen Jefferson miss tonight.
Brooklyn gets the steal. She goes up for her layup. She misses.
Looks like she tried to get past the defenders and didn't take enough time to focus up. Jefferson up for it, and it's good. Quick layup.
Cox taking it down the court. She goes up, gets blocked by Latley.
All the way down to Maples. Miller's going to pick it up. Johnson up. It's going to be short. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Right now, Earl out front 54, Cross County 32. We'll be back in just a minute with the start of the 4th quarter. Eight minutes left in the ball game. Earl 54, Cross County 32. Avery inbounding at half court. Gonna get it to Cox. Cox gonna get it to Forrester out in the right wing. He's gonna hand it off to Johnson for 3. It's gonna be off.
Maples going up the court. To Jefferson. To Doss.
Inside to Maples. Off the backboard, good for 2. 56 on the board for the Bulldogs.
Cox to Bersaget. Bersaget taking it up the court in the middle. To Forrester. Forrester for the Forrester got tripped up. Earl's ball.
Jefferson taking it up for the Bulldogs. Jefferson slowing things down. Gonna Send it over to Doss, back over to Jefferson. Inside to Maples, off the backboard, gonna be off, gets her own rebound, and that one's gonna be good for 2.
Bursa J to Cox. Back to Bursa J. Johnson for a jumper. Misses.
Goes back up, but her shot's gonna be blocked by Latley. Maples up for it, good for 2. There's nobody around her except for St. Clair, but St. Clair kept running. St. Clair all the way across to Bursa J, but Jefferson's gonna pick it up. And shot's gonna be off.
Cox struggling to get it past half court. Looks like she's gonna pass it to Johnson.
Doss was putting some pressure on her. Bursa J gonna try and go all the way. Loses her dribble there, out of bounds, going Earl's direction. Maples inbounding.
Jefferson taking it up the court.
Jefferson taking it slow. Miller's going to try and put some pressure on her. Going to get it out in the corner for 3. Shot's going to be off. Earl back up. Still no good. Out of bounds. Ball's going to be going Cross County's direction.
Johnson to Miller. Miller taking it up the court. Loses her dribble there for a second.
Pressure there, they're gonna call. We're gonna call a foul. Foul on Perry, it's her 5th. Johnson inbounding. Gonna get it to Bursa J.
Bursa J on a wing to Johnson.
Johnson gonna try and go all the way. Out of bounds, gonna stay on Cross County side.
Johnson to Bursa J. Bursa J tries to get up there and misses. Rebounded by Richardson after the layup.
Inside, gonna draw the foul. Foul's gonna be on Brooklyn.
Jefferson to Maples. Maples goes inside, she takes a shot, and she makes it.
It's gonna be good.
Miller taking it up the court.
Miller for 3. Gonna be short. Rebounded by the Bulldogs. Gonna go into the hands of Maples. Miller gonna go with the steal. Shot's gonna be off. Richardson with the rebound. Still no good. Bursa J up. Still not gonna go in. Goes into the hands of Latley. Gonna send it down to Jefferson. KJ gonna put some pressure on her. She's gonna draw the foul. It's gonna be KJ's first foul. 4 minutes, 13 seconds left in the ball game. Earl 62, Cross County 34. Jefferson at the line. For that one, she sinks it. St. Clair and Forster coming in, and Johnson and Johnson taking a seat. Jefferson up for the second and sinks it.
Miller's taking up the court.
Miller looking for someone to send it off to. Going to get it to Bursajay.
Bursajay goes inside for the layup. It's off. Inbounding by St. Clair. It's going to be tipped off by Maples.
Maples for a deep three. It's going to be off. We've got a running clock for the remainder of the ball game. Earl 64, Cross County 34.
Bursajay taking it up. Going inside for the layup.
It's going to be off. Rebounded by Richardson, and that one's going to be good.
Maples taking it up the court.
Maples for another three, and that one's going to be good. Deep three by the Bulldogs. 67 on the board for Earl, 36 Cross County.
Miller taking up the court to Bursajay. Inside to Forrester for the layup. And it's good.
Maples taking it up the court. Doss going to be off, rebounded by St. Clair. Hands it off to Bursajay.
Miller for the three. It's going to be off.
Rebounded by Maples.
Maples for the three. It's going to be off.
It's like Cox coming in for Miller. Murray gonna draw the foul. She'll be at the line to shoot too. It's gonna be the second foul on Richardson. Murray gonna miss the first.
Murray going for a second. She makes it.
Less than a minute left in the ball game. Earl 68, Cross County 38. Maples gets a hand on it, taking it up for the Bulldogs.
All the way to Doss. Doss for the three. It's off. Taken up the court by Cox.
Cox going to try and go around Doss. Then she's going to back up. Bounces it to St. Clair. Top of the key. It's going to be short. Up for the shot, and it's going to be good by Miller. And that's going to be the end of the ball game right now. Or that's going to be a final score of Earl 70, Cross County 38. Coming up next is your junior high boys facing off against the Bulldogs. And after that, we'll be back on the radio for your senior high boys facing off against Earl.